Hi, I'm Jinx.
And I'm Delco.
And welcome to Anyland. This video is Delco and my kind of unfinished projects worlds tour. So we're going to tour through a bunch of different worlds that we each have worked on together, separately, and with friends, just to catalog them and show them off. And there'll be some good times. So let's start here in Space Station Neon. This is a space station, the first one that we actually worked on right after the Underground. Theoretically, it was to totally change themes after doing low-tech caverns, organic, and it just kind of became an ordeal. And I like things that aren't so structured because it's more fun when it's not structured. So after this, we ended up doing Haunted Woods Trails the first that summer. What was that, 2017? So that was good stuff. So let's do a quick tour of what little we did do here, which is pretty cool, that predated Neon City, which definitely led to that. So we'll switch to my point of view. Okay, so here at my point of view, we have kind of this double-decker, two-level hub where you might start in a space station, right? And up there are going to be merchant stalls or something. This direction was going to be a restaurant kind of space. Not quite a bar, but a double-decker hangout spot that, people, visitors to the space station, they'd come down these stairs and go straight there and grab a bite to eat while they're waiting for whatever. And this place was going to have multiple levels and an elevator up to the second level. And had some of these cool comets passing by. And notice the ringed gas giant and the little moon up there. Well, you can see in my Space Station Ravenswitch video, the same exact gas giant. And that moon, theoretically, Neon City is on that moon. And we never put the gas giant in the sky yet. So, yeah. Let's go to the one wing that we did basically finish. I'm going to go this way and around, which is there. And here we go. For a little while, I liked building right here. It was just a fun spot. That was going to be part of the elevator up to the second level. So all of these doors are custom doors using sub things that slide open. And they're doors and, over there and all that jazz. So you hit the button and you enter. And a fun thing was the buttons were just when touched. So if you had, let's see if I can activate my guns. That's harder to, there we go. Wow, that was a challenge. So yeah, you can actually shoot the buttons and get in. So security zone, armory, and brig restricted access. So you come in here and you're like, oh, that was a test for laser grid that you did with textures, I believe.
Right. Yes.
We love doing verticality, as I always say, but having an upper level where you could watch people come in. So if you step up to here, actually step in to the scan zone.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And that spotlights him red. It's kind of like, oh, And so someone would be at this station. It says initiate scan, flip switch. It doesn't actually do anything. We didn't program it. But it was just a cool console. And you're spotlit red if you're standing there. So that would do a scan sequence. And then this door would open. And note the triple turret things. We kept it open so that we could build. And look, we built bunches of stuff, right? So to the brig, this way. And you can see the spotlight is following nearest person. So it'll keep doing that. So this, theoretically, is a laser field. And you can see one laser is kind of trying to emit, but can't. And that was going to lead to a brig. We're going to have a lot of fun with that. And this side, the yellow side, says armory. And we had this plan where you'd go in there and kind of like the weapon shop in Neon City, there would be weapons and closets of weapons and all sorts of stuff locked up. So good
Reset
stuff.
the light.
Oh, perfect. Oh, that's good for the video.
Yeah.
So here is the observation deck. So I know you did like everything up here.
I believe that observation deck
Ooh.
sign is the very first instance of that particular particle effect sign thing I made.
And I love that.
That's where I invented it.
I love that. The particle effect on the holographic plate in red. We've used it in my lemon lime green a few times. You have some examples of it up here. If you come up here with us. Yep.
Oh yeah.
The
Oh yeah.
keyboard.
This is where I made it.
Bingo. Oh, blue. I forgot about the blues.
I believe you can press a button.
That's right.
Oh yeah, it was like a log thing. You could
Yes.
press a button and it loads a log up.
Yeah, because right behind you, you have one that was placed.
Oh yes.
Oh, it's actually a log entry. Nice. Same old story. Red lights, secure security, and lots of prisoners. I'm going to go crazy sitting in here all the time. Reminder, fix the security beam before one of the prisoners takes advantage of them. That's that one, nice.
Right, of course.
And then you did a bunch of fun texture effect things over here.
Oh yeah, this was.
Red light set is red. Wait, it just went blue.
Oh, I was being real silly.
I love it.
Yeah, and I believe I do have a bit of Morse code here. Yeah, there's Morse code right there.
Oh, and the dot?
I don't remember what it says, but it's Morse code.
Fun. And I love the one that fills up slowly.
Oh yeah.
And just lots of fun animated texture effects here, which is good stuff. And then here's where you can see down for anyone who's coming in. I believe that covers everything from Space Station Neon, and we can move on to the next part of the tour.
Yeah, that's just about it.
Cool. This is City Smash. This is basically a VR recreation of the old game Rampage. So you can see the big buildings and some traffic and jazz. Murky Mud did a lot of programming on top of me creating the buildings that smash part. He did people and the helicopters flying around and even like a Grand Theft Auto police stars that you can get in trouble for. So I just want to show this real quick. It says mutate here. These are holdables. You put your hands in and you hit trigger and you pick it up like it, like you pick up anything like a gun, right? When you hit trigger, you get fists. And so you punch things, you break windows, right? Which is fun. Okay. Just go smashing at things just like the game Rampage. Cool. That's just to show City Smash 2. Oh yeah.
Little guys.
Little guys that you could pick up and throw in, and Murky just scripted all sorts of stuff. I think that was a meteorite that would destroy things. Because he made the whip too, and I made this
here.
robot hand.
There it is. There's the meteorite.
Yeah. All right. So you can just kind of... No, maybe not. I'm not close enough. There we go. It's pretty cathartic, which is fun. So we'll go to City Smash 2 and show that off. Okay, so this is City Smash 2. This is, well, it was going to be a sequel. City Smash 1, anyone could always join. It's public. But this was going to be a little more epic, fancy, right? So you start not among the city to just grab hands and go smashing things, but we were going to do a fancy cinematic kind of intro. So you start in here in this building, and you look out, and you could see people and friends smashing buildings, and that's just one example building that we started with. So the idea would be this building is that building, and you're looking out, you're sunken from the floor, from the real floor, and yeah, the whole idea was you were supposed to feel like your friends playing were large and that you are small, and this kind of gives you a perspective view. So let's go inside and I'll, demonstrate everything. Keypad, but actually this was just to open that fancy door. Cool. So Sector 2. Procedure to transform into a giant monster. Step 1, approach the mutation station. Step 2, put both hands in the yellow slots. Step 3, grab big hands with the trigger buttons. They're holdables. Step 4, pull out and flex. Rawr. Stand in the capsule and smash the big red button to grow huge. Yeah, so this is just instructions on what you should be doing. So you could choose to be a lizard, a gorilla, or a robot. I'll just be the lizard. So friendly, put your hands in, and just like before, these are hold tools. So you grab them and pull out, teleport out, flex, right? And then the door, red lights, so you can't go that way, clearly. And it did say smash the big red button. Okay, so big red button. Oh. What's happening to me? So you see, here's a recreation of the building you just came in with the little mutation grab bits, and it's all broken out as if you actually did grow large and broke out. So to help sell the scale of things, since you are just normal size, right? And not needing to use Anyland's size growing, we just, little roads, just like City Smash the first. Yeah. So this is a new style building. It breaks with the breakable feature. And particles just bust out like that. So that was going to work really well. The outside was even climbable. So you could get up here and start smashing things. Like in Rampage, when you can climb up buildings. Murky was doing some of his fun people stuff with peoples and the helicopters and making that break out. One more thing I want to bring up here. I had started prototyping what I wanted to be like a fighting game in Anyland. Inspired by One Must Fall 2097, which, I recreated Nova and you did the billboard for Neon City. The idea was that if I took this, where you could break stuff up, I could potentially create an avatar that has hotspots for hits. And then, so using scripting 100% health, which eventually became the universal health system I created for avatars. You hit different spots, and there is a slight delay just so you can't put it in and keep triggering it like that. So, whoop. Oh, so that was going to work if I wanted to keep going with it. And yeah, I was ready to make a melee fighting game. The fun idea with that would also be when you had these on, these would be, robots or something. Trigger was going to like shoot fireballs or do special effects, that you might find in a fighting game. So, okay, so this is the Underground 2. This is an Anyland legend, myth almost, where Delco I and Emily started this sometime after, obviously, the Underground. And the Underground got super popular for a long time. And so we worked on this, and just like the Underground 1, we weren't going to let anyone in to see it until it was done. Because, we just like to show things when they're done and not like this usually. And so we worked on this for a bit, and we moved on to other things. So this will just be a start. We started, yes, February 26, 2018. So roughly a year after the Underground 1.
Right after Haunted Woods Trails 1 was wrapped up.
And I think after we started Neon City proper, just actually started it. Yeah. So you'll notice, that takes you to Jinx Hub, which goes to my specific worlds. But you'll notice when you warp in here, you get into this cave. And that part was just for us, for builders. But that wouldn't be there normally when we were done. You would just come in here and it would say the Underground 2. There wouldn't be work in progress. It would just introduce something else. And there'd be a teleport potion. I'm not going to drink it. To the Underground. Because if you warped into the Underground 2, you weren't supposed to do that. You would just get here and it would be like, oh, gotta go. Gotta leave. If, however, you went through the Underground 1 all the way through to the finale room, either through Emily's Puzzle Wings or to the labyrinth area, you would not end up here. You would end up in the copy of the cave we're about to show, and it would warp you here. So it would warp you to there. I'm pointing this way because I know it's that way. This is fun. So it would take you to the proper location where you can continue in the Underground 2, straight out of the Underground 1, helping further feel like you were deep underground and continuing a long, mysterious journey. So let's go ahead and smash this orb on your face. as you and I like
which
to
is a reference to the lab.
The
I
lab,
think?
yes.
An old VR game. Yeah,
Yes.
it's definitely the lab.
Totally. And that's all you do. Just smash to your face.
Oh yeah, here we are.
I use it for a few things in my home worlds. So this is what you would see. And, oh, I didn't bring a torch out of there, but I'm just going to grab it out of my inventory. You would have actually, the underground one would have ended up there. When you teleported down here, you would have gotten this view, which we would have duplicated in the underground one, just this view. And as soon as you stepped in, it would have loaded you right here in the underground too. So these torches are what we've been calling the underground 2 torches. They are particle effect fire instead of parts being animated, which looks so much more realistic. Although note, unlike the candlesticks we made for the Raven's Witches, the fire does not always point up automatically in reverse anti-gravity. So it's still, it was just a step up, you know, but they float.
Yes,
They
this is
float
the first
below.
world where we used that particle effect.
Yeah.
Is where it was invented.
Yes, it
but
is.
we just ended up using it everywhere else.
Right.
Instead of finishing this.
Right. When we go down the elevator in a moment, you'll see where the floor torches and the candles with these particle effects are. That you're right. We invented ahead of our own. So this is just a big cave. Not much to really show. But note that this is a big marble door with skulls in it. And this was kind of like a pedestal. And the idea would be this could be another path or perhaps a shortcut to a finale if you had the MacGuffin that you could put on the pedestal to open the door. This was before Space Station Raven's Witch, but I was definitely thinking of this when I was thinking of the finale for Space Station Raven's Witch. So we're here. See chains, and you see the chains wrapped up on the... Yeah. So if we step here, and if we hit the switch...
Oh, yes.
Ooh, yeah. And we start going down. Are you on it? You are on it. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Very cinematic intro.
Oh, step forward. You're clipping.
Yep.
Ah, you're fine. So yeah, very cinematic intro. You see even where the chains are coming from rotate. And now when I look back down, it's just dark. It's so dark. But check this. Whoop. Ah! That's not what I wanted to do. That is not exactly what I wanted to do at all.
We are going down.
We are going down. Oh, here you can see. If I just open my inventory, the light. And you can see down there. That's probably better. You can see down there as we approach it. And you can see up there. We're distant. And it keeps going down, but it won't go to the bottom. It'll be very close here. And we'll just wait for that.
Mm-hmm. The idea was, as you're descending, you'd see like goblin villages and waterfalls and all sorts of mystical things on your way down, kind of lodged into the wall.
Exactly. That would
sort
have been...
of world building as you go down.
Exactly, to let you know what you're about to see, because it was going to be stuff we would put in the underground too, which would have been the last stuff we did. That's why it's so dark, because there would be emitted lights up there and all the different spots to illuminate each little vignette. So yeah, it stops. And then this is going to be a rock kind of hill down. So instead, we just have placeholders so you can jump down. And we were prototyping a bunch of stuff down here. As you can see. Yeah, so these are the first instance of these different torches. In different colors. Purple. Ooh, I love the purple. And the cyan and all that jazz. These, I'll pull out a torch. These are the new versions of the lightable candles. Just gonna light them all for good measure, right? So particle effects now instead of parts for the flame, and then still in the colors with the emitted lights, which is cool. What else is good? Oh yes,
This is the original prototype, right here.
that's it.
Of the flames.
The first time you created that flame effect that became this.
Yes.
Which is fun, lots of fun. I remember we were also prototyping magic wands. Yep. Emily had one.
Oh, yeah.
And I had one going.
The
Emily's
spell wand.
Yeah, the spell wand. Emily's area, which we'll see in a moment, she had a whole idea of voice command spells out of a wand. And she had a whole idea for magic and more puzzles. She was going to have a whole puzzle wing again in a different way. Well, we made a new labyrinth passage. So I made this fun wand. And I really like this just being disconnected. It had 2 features. Only one that I think got programmed. First, proximity. So there's that. There's this. The cube with the translucent circle. Notice how when I got near to it, it starts pulsing cyan to match this. And then maybe this one. Oops. Nope. Okay, I didn't program it. But the idea would be you'd shoot the projectile, and when it hit something, whatever it was supposed to happen, it would do something. So that effect was going to let you know that you were near a secret, and then pressing trigger on the wand to shoot that was going to trigger whatever the secret was. So if we did illusionary walls, you know, there might be a skull on a pedestal next to that illusionary wall that starts glowing when your wand is nearby. So then you'd shoot the wall, and then it would just fade out, and then there's a secret passage. So this way we can see right here. I'm not going this way. This was a crawl-only space to the hub that we're going to get to. I'm not going to crawl down that way.
Yeah.
We're going to go... oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
This is where I invented this thing, which has made an appearance in many worlds.
All the Haunted Woods worlds, I think.
Yeah, this is where I first made it.
Yep, and it'll be in the candle shop up ahead.
Yep. No changes. Exactly the same thing. Just place it.
It's awesome, and it's fun to play with.
Yeah.
It's just a fun effect. Sweet. So, let's see. I'm going to grab another torch, because, you know...
Good call.
You're in the underground. You should have a torch. Do you want one?
I'm good.
So, to start the path is this kind of... I thought of it as a sewer tunnel, even though there aren't sewers. But it looks very clearly man-made somehow. Now, remember, the underground is in an asteroid. So, it's fun that this is some sort of reinforcement. So, you get to your first kind of cave proper with the firefly thing from the Alchemist Sanctum. And you come around here, and there's another sewer pipe. And leads to, what is this? Ooh, a little village in a huge... Let's see if I can throw that up high enough. Yep, it bounced off the ceiling. A huge, huge, huge cavern. Just gigantic. And everything's on docks because there's water. And there's some grating that clearly was a passage. And that's why there are docks and why a village is here. Which is extra cool if you think that this is inside an asteroid. That just, yeah, makes it even cooler. That there's a village. So here's a space. And we'll go to the clerk's candles. And you created a cool effect. Ah, I popped it the wrong way. You remember that?
You're reminding me of things.
Oh, man.
I forgot about.
Okay.
And that just keeps going.
Yeah, it does.
That just loops.
So it's just like a when touched, and then it creates a back and forth animation, right?
Yeah. I think the idea of this shop was this is where the candles came from in the underground.
Yes, right.
This is where they were made.
Right. Extra fun knowing that this is inside an asteroid, right? So here are the candles, all hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
If you look up, you can see storage things, more candles, books. How to Be a Real Boy by Gills. Aww. How to Plan, Organize, and Pay for the Berry Symposium. Awesome. How to Avoid Fire Hazards. Love it. Love it all.
Forgot about that.
More candles, good stuff. And then here you actually put it out proper. Where it said, test out our latest fire-altering materials. On sale now. Yay. It's just fun. Alright, so we can move along here.
Yes.
Yeah, some more docks, which are fun. Buildings, which you can't go in, but they have the lighting effect. Way predating Raven's Witch when we did, well, you invented that cool glow effect for windows. This way years predates it.
Mm-hmm.
This is a nice little dock corner. And then you can see with the fog effect, but it actually goes way back there where the water would continue. And it's hard to hear, but there is a water sound effect, like water lapping against the barrels or the docks. And we reused it at the docks in the beginning of Ravenswitch, which I think is a little more prominent there. Fun dice game, which I believe, did you put that in the Ravenswitch McLoki's
Yeah,
pub?
a lot of this place was repurposed for Ravenswitch, like the ropes, as you said, were
Yep.
originally made here, used in Ravenswitch.
That's right.
Tweaked a little bit,
All
I
the
think.
docks.
But yeah, the dice with the cups and everything.
Totally. That's right, McLoki's pub.
The burlap sacks. I used that in oh no, that's Underground 1.
Underground 1, I remember at least
Yes.
in the Alchemist
Yeah.
Sanctum, definitely showed up. Sweet. So there's more here. Let's see. Oh, yep, this house. I remember Emily decorated a bunch of stuff. Because it said, how to keep your gold safe. Good tip. There's a bed. What was that?
Yeah, this was some storytelling going on in here.
That's right, the start of that, because the mayoral papers. The nice scroll. Coins that actually you could pick up.
Fun.
It's fun. Knowing what we know now, we wouldn't do superfluous, fun, extra things just to keep the frame rate cool when we get crazy.
Yeah.
And we do get crazy. See also the Ravenswitches. There's a little clutter space.
Classic clutter.
Yeah.
And I believe there's the precariously placed barrel, or crate.
Oh,
rather.
there it is. Gotta have it.
Gotta make the appearance, yep.
Of course.
Early in this one.
Nice. Sell it fast. Alright, so then we have like Crystal Cave. We had the crystals in the actual cave, just like that, giving off light, looking like that. But there's kind of like an ore vein that's visible through the rock, right? I like that. And before we show, well, yeah. So the labyrinth would continue this way. And as you can see, there's nothing but void. And that's what void looks like. So that's cool. I want to show... Well, actually, we should show this little house. Broken glass bits. And this particular hub is the same hut. Same hut, the witch's hut from Haunted Witch Trials 1. I know it shows up in the first kind of hubby area in Ravenswitch. So I remember you decorated this to be for the goblins. So they climb up here and go to bed there. And yeah, the goblins, the cabbages, Avatar style goblins. So fun stuff. This was going to be like a little goblin village. And yeah, this shows up in model rooms. And this is just a map, basically, prototyped of this space. Came in there. And there's where you can't go. And this is all that. And we were going to do like a big pagoda thing right there.
Yep, the crawling path from the start would have looped around to a basement in this building. In fact, I think it even lines up.
Yeah, you're right.
Just down through here.
This was going to be like a pub, like a tavern kind of thing. So this is going to be the basement of such a place. And you can see it's clearly unfinished, right? And you have clutter. And yeah, because we... Yep. Oh yeah, here it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so... Yeah, you prototyped the sound effect.
Oh, yeah.
You can see that. I'm going to go down. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Ooh. Yeah, okay. So
it's all here.
Yep. So that away is that starting cavern. And there's going to be a whole crawling path, which, yeah, would have been a pain in the butt to make until... Well, it would have been fine until you put the top in. So you can kind of... This is how it's going to end. And I'll get low so you could see it ends in a room with a ladder. And you teleport and jump down. Okay, see some bricks. And you'd see the wooden. And you're like, oh, what's that? So, oops, let me turn around. Climbable ladders, of course. You'd get up to here and notice the box texture, but it would just feel like wooden texture. There'd be a ceiling. And you'd be like, oh, what's up? Oh. And as you get here, it would actually fly off with that sound effect you just heard. And basically we were going to do an emit block. So it would fly off and you'd come up here. And that was going to be the alternate entrance start, basically. Alternate entrance to the Goblin Village. and also to the start here, which is fun. Let's pop over to what Emily started.
Yes.
Just to cover it. Cool. Oh, I don't need the torch.
Bright.
Yeah, it's bright. Okay, so Emily's story mode, we just, marked it off.
Not so much a puzzle wing, more of a story. Set up with the mayor hut, I believe.
That's right.
If I recall.
That's right. Yeah, and she had this nice book. Do you seek to become the most powerful sorcerer in the underground? And it details how you use the wand. Her wand right here. And there were 3 spells I remember. Rubrium. Viridi. Yeah, as you say them with voice commands, they'll fire off their actual particle effect in those colors. Carulium. Right? So that's super fun. And I know she had plans for that to use, I believe, in puzzle ways too. And with lots of story that would compete from this way. And so I don't know how that just triggered. But yeah, so that was going to be awesome too. And just like Underground 1, there'd be a puzzle story wing versus a just labyrinth as we continue on. So yeah, this is the legendary Underground 2 tour and what we actually did do and never displayed for anyone. Enjoy. Okay, so this is model rooms. Delco and I set this up on display. It's always been public. I even put it in my tips video, I think it is, because making scale models in Anyland is quick and easy. And we did it for the underground and all of our haunted woods and saved them so that they're on display here. So I just want to show this real quick. Before we made Club Upload, before the last DJ session that Delco and I did for people and threw a party, we prototyped it just like this. And then we built it. And aside from the second level not having booths and tables and not having tables right in the middle, because that became like the dance floor with the foam party effect, this is very close to the actual Club Upload. So that's cool. And one special thing we should show is the Morrowind jazz over here. Kind of a late edition. Dunmer architecture from Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. So I had made this Dunmer Stronghold model. And then you made the rest of it. So if you want to...
Yeah. So those are the large, huge canton buildings from the main city in Morrowind, Vivec City.
Right.
This is sort of the front-facing facade of the Ghost Gate area in Morrowind. Right. And these are 2 very separate entities on the map because the idea was, what if we recreated a small town in Morrowind?
Right.
Which then, of course, would lead to recreating the surrounding landscape because it can't just be a void.
Of course.
We briefly threw around the idea of recreating like an entire region of Morrowind in Anyland, which is kind of obscene out there, but this is as far as it ever went. These models.
Some people have ideas that are well beyond their capabilities early in Anyland, right? And even though we are very accomplished and experienced builders, this was our outlandish idea for ourselves.
Outlandish.
Yeah, we could recreate Morrowind in Anyland. But you proved, and then I, went on, that you could make pretty accurate models in Anyland. Vivec's Canton's a different side. It's great. So that worked out pretty well.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is Delco's Ghostbusters Firehouse recreation. And I'll let him describe it all.
Okay. This is pretty close to the original 2 movies. All the source imagery I took from the 2009 Ghostbusters video game, specifically the Xbox 360 PS3 version. The Wii version had a different art style.
True.
And I don't think it had a hub world.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But, compiled a bunch of reference imagery and recreated the entire firehouse to a certain extent, unfinished world. It's Vigo.
It's Vigo.
It's Vigo. We'll go downstairs last.
Yeah, do the basement last.
Let's
Totally.
go up.
Sweet. The proper recreation of the
Upstairs,
stairs. Even the banisters you recreated correctly.
All the clutter isn't here. Got some Neon City assets out there.
Yeah, it looks like it's Manhattan.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Added this here. I think this isn't in the game, but this is in the movie.
Of course.
You know, got to have the movie props.
Totally.
I believe that's a stripped down boombox.
That's right. That's the boombox I made in recreation from Ready Player One.
Yeah, in fact, there's the other half of it right there.
The speakers on the side. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, lots of repurposed models.
That's
have some, you know, prime technobabble on the boxes over here.
Oh.
Along with the...
Encabulator.
Yeah, gotta have the encabulator.
Triple retro encabulator.
Omnichromatic neutrino converters.
Hypospectral storage filters.
Yeah, a lot of Ghostbuster-y kind of technobabble.
Yeah.
In here would be the dorms, I guess you'd call it, and bathroom.
Right. And I made...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what?
I recreated the General Electric logo and said Paranormal Electric. I don't know if that's my thing or...
If that was in the game?
And that was in the game.
It seems like
I don't
something
know.
you
I don't
would
think
do.
the game had that kind of detail.
Right.
So that might be my thing.
It seems like a you thing, for sure.
Yeah. Cabinets. I don't like making cabinets.
I know, it's boring. I've made enough myself.
Have some arcade machines,
Yep.
which you made.
I made these just because they're in the movie, the game, somewhere. You had reference images, so I was recreating stuff.
And the fire poles work.
Yes! Hold on, I'll take the other one, I think.
Oh, yeah, it's back there.
What do I do?
You have to stand on
Oh, that's right.
You just, to kind of float in the middle and then trigger on the pole.
That's right. Whee! It actually worked.
Oh, this side.
Yeah, so that's cool. And then...
downstairs is an interesting one because in the original movie, the containment unit was just basically...
There's a panel
box on the wall.
Yeah, it was just...
And that's and in the game, it's more of a big... It's like sort of a car-sized thing that's attached to the wall, but it's still kind of a small, narrow, dark basement.
Kind of boring.
There is one instance of the containment unit where it looks far more grandiose and presentable, I guess. And I'll let you talk about that because...
Okay, well, yeah. So
you're more familiar.
Yeah, when you were doing the whole firehouse and you hadn't done the basement yet, and then we were talking about how kind of simple the movie and everything else was, and I was like, you've got to use the real Ghostbusters cartoon basement and containment unit because it is epic and grandiose. So you did it. You created this large underground basement, which is freaking awesome. I mean, I get so excited because it's totally part of my childhood, right? So
yeah,
the actual containment unit recreation from the real Ghostbusters cartoon at scale, just wonderful. Just a wonderful basement area with this huge containment unit. You even have a trap down there.
Graphics monkeys. Ghostbusters.
Oh, that's his trap. That's right.
Yeah.
And then...
all this made from a single reference frame that they just reused throughout the show, I believe.
Yeah, because every once in a while, maybe you could see up there, but you're right. I think it's just...
Had to kind of approximate some of the details, but...
Right?
Yeah.
So I also, just to add to it, I created my own neutrino wand. Little flippy switches. But... And it's two-handed. So I can't get the...
Excellent.
Yeah, can't get the exact particle effect for the actual gun, but that's okay because that was fine. So it's awesome. So this is a small world I created. Basically, it's the arcade that I spent a lot of time in my high school years. In high school summers with my best friend who lived across the street, And this hallway is a light recreation of the mall's hallway and the entrance where the arcade itself was. So just real quick, this is pretty accurate of this arcade, and I didn't do too much detail on the actual machines at all, but I did label them as I recalled which ones were where. Like I said, I did spend a lot of time. This was the game where the lights go around, that's lights, and you stop it to get tickets. My friend and I figured that like every time it gets to the spot where you should hit, it like jumps that light and then goes back and then goes. Once we figured that out, we could hit the jackpot every time. It was crazy. So the counter where you could redeem tickets. So yeah, this was House of the Dead 2, you know, light gun game, 2 controllers, which is cool. And Cruising USA, car game, of course. Sit down, drive. I remember the Die Hard game was a 2-player game. It was always there. Star Wars game, sit down as well. And then we had Killer Instinct 1, which is, I spent a lot of time playing that. And I remember I definitely preferred Cinder for whatever reason. Tekken, I can't remember if it was 2 or 3 for the era. I mean, we're talking mid-90s, like 96, man, 95 maybe. And I always played the one gentleman, the older guy, who could sit down. I always thought that was hilarious, that you could just like hit the joystick and he'd just sit down cross-legged. And so while people are like trying to move around and figure out, you're just chilling there. It was fun. So I remember this being a classic Asteroids arcade machine with the wheel ball there. This was a Terminator pinball machine. Again, I wasn't recreating pinball, even though Murky did make a pinball machine. But this is the placeholder for it. And this was Mortal Kombat 3. This was my game. My friend and I basically split the roster in half and started mastering all of the characters, half and half, all their moves and fatalities. And then I ended up preferring Cyrax by far. And I always wanted to play on the right side, and just, that was my jam. Speaking of jam, NBA Jam TE, which I had for the computer later on. It was just tons of fun. What else do we have? This, I don't remember what it was, but there was definitely a machine there. And Killer Instinct 2 was here. I used to play that a lot. And then I remember this one of those texture strength punching bag games where you like punched the bag and then it would tell you how strong you were or something. I never played it, but you know, sometimes you'd see people messing around with that. And then to round this out, we had the Aerosmith shooting game. It was a light gun game, but it was Aerosmith, the band brand. So that was interesting, but light gun games are always fun. The Area 51 shooting light gun game was a lot of fun. At some point, this was like a virtual cop trainer or something like that. But I remember Area 51 was a lot of fun, and if not, a little silly. This is where the X-Men, the 4-player side-scrolling beat-em-up style game was. Awesome, lots of fun. Basketball for getting tickets. Shoot hoops. Marvel vs. Capcom fighting game. And this was Aliens vs. Predator, the side-scrolling up to 3-player beat-em-up style game where you could play as a gal, a cybernetic guy, or one of 2 different predators. And I used to play a ton of this game too. I loved being the one predator and throwing the discs around him and stuff. It was just so much fun. This was one of the, I almost want to say it was Japanese combo arcades where you could play Peggle or Bubble Bobble maybe. It was one of those type of little puzzle games. But I also remember fighting game, cartoon style. Maybe it was, gosh, yeah, I don't remember. But that was always fun. Similar to that, and maybe I'm getting these crisscrossed a little, were the King of Fighters. And I remember playing that a lot for a while. And then this was another machine, but I don't remember exactly what it was. And behind us, skee ball machines, which is another place where it would spit out tickets, of course. So, yeah, just throw this out there that it was my friend who I spent a lot of time with here in high school had passed away during COVID, unfortunately, and I hadn't talked to him in ages. So after that, I was like, you know what? I'm like the only person I know that has a memory of our time at this arcade, and there are no pictures online at all. And I asked a few friends I am still in touch with from high school, and they didn't have any pictures, of course. Why would nobody takes pictures, especially especially before cell phones, right? Nobody was just, you'd have to own a camera or a disposable one to take pictures. That'd be awkward. No one does that. So I needed to get this out of my brain and recreate it for posterity, just to cover it all, right? So 90s arcade.
So this is Anyland Avenue. We're not going to do a in-depth tour of this one because you can already find one of a tour on Emily's channel.
Right.
That video's from way back. This world is something of a time capsule. This is the first sort of coordinated group effort that I ever participated in. This is basically the first building I ever made. You can see the sheer complexity of it.
Right. Pizza on the roof.
No snap position. It was all just hard 90-degree snap angles to make the whole thing.
Tricky.
And some other friends made their own homes. Emily made a house.
Oh, yes.
And yeah, very brief tour. Again, Emily has a full tour.
On her channel, definitely.
Yes.
Cool.
This is the Orange Automation headquarters. As I recall, and my memory is always, a bit hazy with this sort of thing, but this is more recent. There was a sort of a push in the community to make headquarter worlds for these fictional League of Corporations.
Right.
And Gills and I had Orange Studios, which I sort of twisted into Orange Automation with a couple silly videos I made. And so the whole idea, I decided to design it based on sort of 1960s and 70s computer companies, like IBM. I got a lot of IBM imagery. Let's walk and talk.
Oh, yeah.
I have a pretty sharp looking that I don't remember making this guy, but I like him. I'm happy with him. Look at the scan lines on him.
Oh,
he kind of welcomes you.
Oh, nice. When you
got the official logo. And a complimentary Telly Orange. Delicious.
Orange. Love it.
Yep. And through here, got a no floppy disks. This is magnetic. Don't take any floppy disks through.
Right.
There's some reference imagery I took.
Wow.
An old 1960s IBM. Founder of Orange Automation.
Adjectives.
Founder of Orange.
Did you hear that?
I did. What did it say?
I don't know.
Okay.
Okay. Moving on.
Okay.
The founder of Orange Automation, Jerry B. Automation.
I'm
remembering all this stuff as we go.
I remember that picture you took in where you did your first Retroencabulator recreation video from that.
Yes.
That was brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And in here, the idea of this was it was going to be something of a showroom. I didn't come up with any ideas for the outside.
That's right.
So I just kind of stopped here. This is the misting.
Oh, yeah.
Where they grew the oranges indoors.
State-of-the-art orange trees. That's where oranges are canonically.
Yeah, this is a huge word salad plaque thing.
Oh, yes.
You can pause it and read it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, let me get a shot.
Yeah, all of these plaques on these pedestals are...
Sweet. Oh, yeah.
Here we go. This thing is the first... Oh, no, this is the Bosonatron 25K. Complete nonsense. There's no references in that. The actual design of it is definitely supposed to be original 60s Star Trek.
Yeah.
With the little viewfinder thing in there.
Right.
Beyond that, this thing.
Oh.
Oh yeah. This
oh my God.
was it's just a thing that shoots a ball through a hoop, and it's got this incredibly long and complicated name.
Yes. And that's all it does, right?
An automate. I know, I can't.
I know, it's too much. That's too much.
I did have a proper way to pronounce it, but I think that was the last of the brain power I put into this, coming up with that name.
Nice.
I'm very happy with what I did make.
Yeah, because it looks awesome. Especially that entrance room too, and your logo.
Yeah.
Cool.
Orange automation.
Yeah, I also like that you made the carpet where the museum pieces are unwalkable. So,
Oh yeah.
You can't, no touch, you know, like a museum.
Yeah, I think I was gonna do ropes, but I didn't get around to it.
Sure.
This is the Orange Studios theme park, and this was I can't even begin to remember whose idea it was or why we did it, but it was a collaboration between Murky Mud, Gills, and myself. Basically to turn the whole concept of Orange Automation and Orange Studios and, you know, the little, you know, the Telly Orange and all that into a theme park with, you know, character-driven imagery.
Right. Okay.
We made this giant lot, ambitiously sized lot.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not sure what our grand plans were, but we pretty much just kind of riffed on various ideas.
Yes.
For a few nights, and Murky did his usual wizardry, which we will touch on later.
Oh, totally.
I don't know if you see the big boat just sitting here.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, that broke since the last time we were in here.
That's okay.
That's supposed to be one of those. You can see actually way over that way.
Right.
There's it's you know
frame for it.
Boat that swings back and forth. It's a common.
Yeah, it's a very
theme park
common in
ride.
theme parks, which is fun.
Yes.
So, they used to actually travel and be rideable, which is cool.
Right. This is the entryway that I put together.
Classic.
Yes, very classic.
The bus
Over here we have some kind of restaurant.
Oh yeah.
Where they serve oranges, and there is an interior.
Yep.
We'll look at that real quick.
Yeah.
Lots of walking around in this one.
Of course, I'm coming in. Cool.
Oh yes. So we have these food stands. It's all oranges.
Right. And that's the did I eat more than one seizure warning?
Orange X.
Orange X. But then we also have the classic orange.
The classic. Barbecue style.
Oh my god.
Bobbing.
They're bobbing in barbecue sauce. Oh. Whoa.
Fun all the time. Hoo hee ha hoo hoo hee ha hoo.
That guy
Mascot.
talks. That's right.
Mascot talks. Yes.
Let's see what.
The old timer.
Oh god, these oranges. Oh,
these are delicious.
Oh god, no! Oh, you ate one. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Oh no. Aren't you glad? It's a banana. Oh no. Oh god, it's terrible. In a fun way. I just want to point out that this room, that was a teleport door, and this is way under the world.
Oh yeah.
This is the first time I saw that effect happen, which, as far as I know, was the first time, and that inspired what we ended up doing in Ravenswitch for every interior.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do eventually in Neon City. There were going to be interiors of teleport doors, and they'd be under the world.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then there's the squeaky orange.
Squeaky orange, yes. Orange toy.
Orange toy.
And Murky is hanging out over here.
Oh yeah, Murky's head all done up.
Yes. This, yeah, as I recall, at least, yeah, a lot of this world was just making each other laugh.
Nice.
It was like that's not necessarily an end goal, but it was definitely just a few nights of comedy.
Having fun. Yeah, no, totally.
Having fun.
That's awesome.
Continuing, we have that's a build tool.
That's cool.
An old build tool.
Yeah.
From way back yonder.
I see.
We'll look at that last.
Because we're gonna go through that whole thing.
Yes. This is a cube
Random
that
cube.
Murky made.
Right.
This apparently starts the ride.
No.
I don't know. That's what it has, a tel command on it.
Oh.
Anyway.
Wow.
We'll look at that next. We have a bus here. I don't know why it's a school bus.
It's a school bus, and it's maybe, it was bringing the kids to the park or something. I remember that was rideable.
Yeah, apparently I made that.
Oh, you did? Nice.
Wow.
Cool.
School bus. Some of,
oh, man.
well, it's nothing short of magic to me.
Some of it's magic. This was Murky's working asteroids game with multiple levels. It's just amazing. And you just hold that as a controller so you could shoot. And he was making a side scroller in obviously the original Super Mario style. So, like you said, it's nothing short of magic. The programming.
I can't begin to understand it.
No, it's just amazing.
Pinball, asteroids.
Right.
It's all here. It was working at some point.
Yep.
Unfortunately, it is not right now.
Well.
Skee ball.
Oh, right. Skee ball. Look.
Yes, this was all going to go in here, similar to the previous arcade shown in this video.
Oh, yes. Oh, actual working one.
Yeah, this was going to be a full arcade.
Mm-hmm.
Did it have a name? The arcade? I think it did.
Yeah, it did.
The Fungal.
The Fungal Jungle. Ah, nice.
Yes, I can tell Gills came up with that one.
Nice.
Over here we have some kind of pavilion.
Oh yeah, with the fountain that's
this was
out
a
orange
fountain.
Juice.
Yes, the orange juice fountain.
That's right. Fun.
Yes, that's where the swinging boat was.
Yep.
At some point, with a week ago it was there.
Oh yeah, actually.
We broke it.
Oh, we did.
By being here.
Oh man, we're cursed.
Zigzagging.
Jinx, I live
Back
up to my
over
name.
here. We have
over there.
The mascot. Oops. I don't remember if he had a name.
Ah. Yeah, it's just a thing, so
it
wasn't labeled.
We were gonna do statues of each other. Whoa, something is.
What is that? That's the boat's rocking, but it's something else doing it.
Yeah, but
sideways.
What is attached to it?
It stopped.
I'll have to investigate that after the video's over.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird.
This was a
Captain Cosmonaut.
I guess it was gonna be a drop tower. Oh yes, a Captain Cosmonaut drop tower. There was there. Cool. I'll briefly touch on this. We at some point years ago had Orange Studios was a film company, and we made one video, ALPDVR Vice Cops,
on your channel.
Link, it's actually on the Orange Studios YouTube channel.
Oh, that's right. Oh yes, of course.
Yes.
I'll link that in the description for sure.
Yeah, find that. We were gonna make another video called Captain Cosmonaut. It was I don't remember what the pitch was, but we were gonna make a space-themed drop tower. Sure. I'm guessing this is a drop tower based on the model that Axel put together.
Wow. Axel, yeah.
That's not a name I expect. Okay.
Cool.
We're finding all sorts of new things.
Oh, I miss Axel. All right.
Yeah. And then this was probably a spinny ride of some persuasion.
Yes.
Made by yet another person that I don't actually remember.
Lady 8.
Okay, I guess there was more collaboration going on here than I remember.
That's exciting.
Murky Mud, Axel, Gills, myself, and Lady 8.
Rock on.
Moving on, we have
the Ferris wheel.
The Ferris wheel, which is
this thing is amazing.
Yeah. I don't remember how I did it. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
As I recall.
I'm gonna change things getting into one.
Yeah, good idea.
Here we go.
It's rideable.
Oops, I'm on top. Oh, jeez. There we go.
There we go. Yeah. Yeah, it's rideable. They stay upright.
That's right. Yeah. That's the important part.
Yeah, I'm a little rusty with the building. I can't remember how I did it, but
there to last.
I did it.
That's great.
And I made a Ferris wheel. And I was just gonna move on.
Yeah, no, this is. I was gonna say this is great because it's at scale, so like
yes,
you actually feel that you're high up because you are. You actually are high up. So. Cool.
Yes, indeed.
So,
yeah, the finale.
The finale, the fancy thing.
The real fancy thing.
The Murky Mud magic, I think it was.
Murky Mud magic. Murky Mud movie magic.
Yeah.
The ALPD VR Vice Cops Dark Ride.
Dark Ride. It's not that dark yet.
There's something else. Oh, that's the restaurant. Never mind.
Oh, down there?
Yeah.
Something? Okay.
This was a dark ride, shoot at target kind of game.
Yeah.
I'll start it. Murky made this.
It's just
And this is
amazing.
just, yeah. It was going to be night themed, obviously, being a dark ride.
Into the traffic. And then, yeah, guys would pop out.
And this is a very convincing effect. Once, the lights were out and there was a ceiling here, this would have been a very convincing effect.
Absolutely. It's convincing just watching it.
Very impressive. And someone pulls up alongside us there, and he's shooting at us.
Ah! Yeah, because this would be a shooting gallery.
Mm-hmm.
And so you'd be popping up, guys would pop up wherever, and then you'd shoot them out. This is cool because it goes on for a minute here, which itself is already pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm.
And then after it stops, we continue on to the end. Like, damn, Murky, genius. I'm always impressed, with his crazy awesome scripting stuff and his recreation of actual Doom monsters and made his own level in Anyland.
Right.
Amazing.
So, there's probably a lot more little tiny bits and pieces hidden around this world that I don't have any memory of.
Sure.
But, that's the bullet point summary of this one.
Totally.
Which is...
Freaking awesome.
This was a very fun time.
Oh, definitely.
Building that.
Yeah. Okay, so that is a tour of our multiple project worlds and interesting things we wanted to share. And, yeah. Thoughts?
I think it's been a lot of fun.
It has been a lot of fun.
Over the years.
Absolutely. And building those worlds has been a lot of fun. Friends and collaborating and all that jazz. Have a good evening.